What is up, Packer fans? Back again. The Packers get the W. Eating on W's. Jameis Winston got the loss. Jordan Love did get injured. Malik Willis came in, did exactly what we know Malik Willis can do. Led a drive, finished the drive actually, scored the touchdown. Packers win 27-20 at the New York Giants, move to 6-3-1 in the division. They're now second place now that Detroit lost. The Bears did win, but the Bears have had such an easy schedule. They haven't played anybody really this year. They're 7-3. We do play them in 3 weeks, I believe. So got the Vikings next, but big win in New York. Jordan Love, like I said, going out early, and then as soon as he was going to come back in, Josh Jacobs went out. He looks like he has a knee injury. Doesn't look to be super serious. He might miss a few weeks, but hopefully, we know he's tough. He'll play if he can. I'm not sure if the report is in yet on exactly what it was, but Josh Jacobs did go out, did not come back in. Emmanuel Wilson and Chris Brooks ran the ball well. Wilson ended up with 40 yards rushing, and Brooks had 1 rush for 8 yards, which was a nice carry. Bo Melton got a nice little carry, and Malik Willis ran the ball well when he had to. So Packers were able to run the ball a little bit. The issue was the defense getting off the field against this Giants offense. The Giants ran the ball 38 times. Tracy Jr., the running back for the Giants, had his best game this season, I believe. He was the backup to Scatable for a while. But the Packers just could not get off the field on defense. And they had some good drives on offense. Obviously, Jordan Love going out did kind of, set them back a little bit in the first half. Malik Willis did come in 2 for 2, 6 yards and a touchdown. Christian Watson, 2 touchdowns on the day. He's pretty much the leading receiver with 4 catches, 46 yards. Dobbs did have 53 yards on 4 catches, but with the 2 touchdowns, Watson definitely had a big day. And then Savion Williams, got to shout out him. I think it was 3rd down. Love was about to get sacked. You could see him kind of telling guys to move. He just lofted it up, and Savion Williams caught it, the rookie. First real big play for him this season, and really exciting to see him kind of get some targets downfield. They've been using him as like a gadget guy, but he's 6'4", obviously a big body guy, and big catch there. So really kind of put us in position to score that touchdown at the end, take the 7-point lead. Golden, he's struggled. He had 1 catch for 24 yards. It was a great catch. Jordan Love did try to get him on a deep ball. It kind of faded to the out-of-bounds line, and Golden kept running. But, Golden was kind of getting going early. Now it's kind of fizzled. I thought with the injuries to, Watson coming back, Dobbs kind of getting knocked out, Wicks kind of being in and out, I thought with Golden could really start stepping up. He ended up going out. This was his first week back, so maybe just some injury things. We'll see how it goes next week against the Vikings. But Packers' big story, Jordan Love, no mistakes, 2 touchdowns. Malik Willis had a touchdown. And then the defense, like I said, they just had trouble getting off the field. But when it counted, when it mattered the most, we finally got a pick. We had like 4 or 5 chances. Carrington Valentine kept undercutting Jameis Winston's throws. Could have had 2 picks early. There was another pick down the field a few times. I think some other guys had a chance at it. And then on the last drive, you knew Winston was going to be good for at least 1 turnover. You knew he was going to be good. I mean, he had his 30 touchdown, 30 interception, 5,000-yard season with the Buccaneers. But he's turnover prone. And he kept kind of almost giving us chances, and we just didn't take advantage of them. And then on the second to last series, he threw the pick to Evan Williams in the end zone. I think that's Evan's 2nd or 3rd this season. And then the Packers didn't do anything with the ball. Giants had other timeouts. Packers basically had to punt it, and Daniel Whalen just booted it. Like, this guy's got such a leg. I know one of the punts was kind of a weird one. It was very windy in New York. The kicker, we had Lucas Haversick in there. We've been calling for Haversick to be out there. He set the record for the Packers, 61 yards. And he misses 2 extra points, but in his defense, so did the kicker for the Giants. He missed an extra point, and then it was the most extra points missed in the NFL this season, I believe, and in a few seasons or ever, I think. I'm not sure what the stat exactly was, but a lot of missed extra points. Green Bay was included in that, obviously. Haversick missed 2, but I think that's going to tell everybody, like, let's just use McManus. Hopefully McManus can get out of this funk. Doesn't maybe have the power leg that Haversick has, but we'll see what they do. When they say if you have two kickers, you have no kickers, so we'll see what they end up doing. Obviously, things didn't go well for Haversick, and it was so windy, but with everything going on with the Packers, there's been a lot of question marks around special teams. But Daniel Whalen booted it, and then that last drive, Giants had, some time to get the ball at least in the Hail Mary range. They were at the 35, and they were trying to get the Hail Mary from there. I think Winston could probably throw it that far, but as he's like stepping up, and the Winston step up where he just keeps he's so funny. But as he keeps shaking it, Micah Parsons got him from behind, strip sacked. That was Micah's 1.5 sacks for the game. I think the other half came from McDuffie earlier in the game, where McDuff basically had the sack, but Parsons was kind of wrapped around his back or wrapped around his foot. So basically, Parsons, end of the game there. I know everybody's been saying, oh, Parsons trade, this and that, but that was a huge play, kind of ended it. My son's watch is going off in the background. I didn't know that he had an alarm set for 12:57. So funny. Anyway, so go Pack Go. What a big win. Big stops on defense at the end of the game. They couldn't really stop the run at all. We had some good plays throughout the game on offense. We had a lot of guys with one catch. Savion Williams had one catch. Golden had one catch. Wicks had one catch. Fitzpatrick had one catch. Weil, the new tight end, 6'7" this guy is. He had one catch, his first catch as a Packer, 2-yard touchdown grab. And then Musgraves had one catch for -1 yard. He ended up having another one where they called it incomplete, another one where he actually fumbled. I'm just like, this guy just needs to figure it out. The Packers drafted him so high to be the starting tight end, and he just hasn't really been able to click. I thought about starting him in fantasy to replace Tucker Kraft, but I thought against it, and good thing. I just hope that he can kind of progress and keep going. Fitzpatrick had one catch, and so did the other guy. They both had more yards than Musgraves. So for Musgraves, definitely a game that he'd probably like to have back, but we're going to need him moving forward, and I look for him to step up when the Packers do get to the point where they need to really, start using the tight ends more. So offense looked better. Like I said, Jordan Love, no mistakes. Offensive line played pretty well, especially against that crazy pass rush for the Giants. Up the middle, they have Dexter Lawrence, and on the outside, they have Burns, and the other side, they have the rookie Abdul Carter. So really kind of a tough defense to go against, but the Packers did their job. It was too close. Obviously we gave up a lot of plays that we should have had, interceptions on Winston or whatever, and then some 3rd and longs again. We just could not get off the field on these 3rd and longs. Winston was 19-29, 201 yards and a touchdown, so not a crazy day. But like I said, Tracy Jr., 19 carries, 88 yards, and then Singletary, 16 carries, 44 yards and 2 touchdowns. Not huge numbers, but they just kept moving the chains, going for it, on 4th down, and just kind of being a little more aggressive with some of their play calls because, they had the interim head coach in there trying to win the game. At receiver, Hodgins had 5 catches for 57 yards. So no real big plays for the Giants all day. Nothing that really broke open the game or anything for them. So Packers really kept them in check. It was just kind of a bend but don't break all day, and just time of possession was really shifted. I didn't really saw what the final stat line was. Oh my gosh, 24 minutes for the Packers and 35 minutes for the Giants. Quite a big difference. 10 minutes obviously, but Packers still, punted 4 times. They had 5 penalties, 19 first downs to the Giants, 22 first downs, but we had more yards per play. Obviously, the big stops at the end. Jordan Love making the plays. Christian Watson's catch in the end zone. Both of them were crazy. The one Malik threw, it was crazy because the guy's arm was like fighting through it, and he just kind of held on to the ball. And then the one in the end zone, double coverage. Perfect throw, though, Jordan Love. And then Watson was able to get up and catch it between the defenders. So quite the play by him. Go Pack Go. What a win. 27-20. Now getting ready for this divisional round kind of slate of games here. We got the Vikings, the Lions, the Bears. Oh my, let's go. Go Pack Go. I think the Vikings kind of regressing. They should have kept Darnold. We all see that. 9 or J.J. McCarthy, whatever he calls himself, is not good enough. We'll do a video on that this week. Don't forget to come back and check that out. Like and subscribe to this video. And then the Packers got the Lions on Thanksgiving, and then they got the Bears. The Bears still suck. No matter what, Go Pack Go. Thanks for watching. Peace out, guys. See you.